first $1 million gate since the famous Dempsey Sonny long count battle in Chicago 8 years before. Everyone's stunned by the fury of Lewis's attack.
Heads to the ropes. Marciano decides to try some uppercuts. Watch. Punch off the ropes and counter with his own.
What's happening, my people? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Al Booger. Crush the Legend, hashtag TWT. Mike Mazik. Tim Layton, hashtag JBT. What's up, nephew? Tim Layton. Salute to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the Box Storian. Today, it's Fantasy Matchups Monday. Jack Dempsey versus Sonny Liston. The Manasseh Mauler, Jack Dempsey versus the Big Bear, Sonny Liston. Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT in the building. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. How's everyone today? This is the Monday afternoon edition of Cast Sports the Boxtorian. Right back at the beginning of a big week of boxing history. We're going to start it out with Fantasy Matchups Monday as usual. And today, we're going to take a deep dive, a good long look at the Manasseh Mauler, Jack Dempsey versus the Big Bear, Sonny Liston. 1919 Jack Dempsey versus 1960 Sonny Liston. Prime versus prime. We're going to take a good long look at this one today. And then coming up, let's look at the week real quick before we get started. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to go and dig into the welterweight division. History of the welterweight division. Some all-time great fighters that fought at 147. Some of the current big names that fight their current rankings, and some big fights that occurred there over the years. And then we got the Christmas Day special. We're going to look at some boxers born on Christmas, some significant events that happened concerning boxing on Christmas, and some big fights that occurred on Christmas Day. The Christmas Day edition, Wednesday, December 25th. Thursday, boxing in the States, Nevada, because I went straight from Montana to New Jersey, went right past Nebraska and Nevada, so I had to go back. Did Nebraska last week, Nevada this week, and then Friday, we're going to end up this big week of boxing history with the profile, as usual. The life and career of the Hawk, Aaron Pryor, the Hawk. Yeah, the one the Four Kings ran away from. None of them fought it. Not one. The Four Kings knew what time it was. They didn't want no part of the Hawk. Congratulations to C. Wood. And man, guess what? You know, he won the 725 for the raffle. And it was his birthday. It was his birthday. Incredible, man. Incredible. That ain't nothing but God, man. Incredible. Happy birthday. Congratulations, C. Wood, on winning that 725. Okay? And, yeah, congratulations to Usyk, too. He beat Tyson Fury again. Where does Tyson Fury go? Probably AJ. And then going on off into the sunset. Yeah, him and AJ going to fill up that Wembley Stadium. Not the arena, the stadium, the big boy. Whole 90,000. I think they had to add seats for AJ and Dubois. Had 90,000 plus in that bad boy. So I see a Fury and AJ match coming up. You know, the loss to Usyk won't hurt it at all, because them UK people love them both, and they will come out for those too. Now, today, highlights of boxing history. Well, I'll be waiting for 2:30 to get here. Yeah, Crush the Legend says, the Hawk and the Body Snatcher. 2. That's right, Crush. Yeah, great show this morning too, Crush. Coffee and Donuts, 6 o'clock a.m. Monday through Friday. We was talking about, you know, the awards, because it's that time, you know, the Fighter of the Year, Trainer of the Year, Fighter of the Year, Upset of the Year. Yeah, we talked about all that this morning on Crush the Legend. Great show. Yeah, got me getting up 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm retired, man. Yeah, it's all Crush's fault, but it's worth it. It is worth it. Salute Crush the Legend. Hashtag TWT. And like I tell you, that's a joint TWT JBT operation, so you know it's fire. And hosted by Crush the Legend. Okay, now let's get into this highlights of boxing history. Okay, well, I'll be waiting for 2:30 to get you. We're up to the 1950s. But how's everybody today? How was the weekend? Did everybody have a good weekend? Enjoy the fight. I only seen the main event. I didn't see none of the preliminaries. Yup. Fury and Usyk, that was it. But the right man won. I hear some people talking about saying that R word, robbery, all that stuff. But the right man won. The scores could have been a little slightly different, but the right man got his hand raised. Usyk, yeah, I thought. So yeah, Fury just can't beat the little guy. Fury had a history of having trouble with the smaller heavyweights like that. Remember, Wallen and a few others. So yeah, but Fury's still over there in the UK. Brand is still big time over there. And him and AJ will be a big money fight over there, and I see that coming. But highlights of boxing history. Okay, we're gonna start out with the 1950s today. Okay, so the first date is January 16th, 1950. Okay, what happened? January 16th, 1950. In the first title fight of the decade, Willie Pep retains his world featherweight title with a fifth-round knockout of Charlie Rowley, St. Louis, Missouri. Home of our friend Showtime, the guy, right? First fight of the decade. Wow. Then, on March 24th, 1950, in the closest Rocky Marciano was probably ever to being defeated, he squeezes by a 10-round split decision win over Roland LaStarza in New York City. And that's one of the fights in the opening. The first one, Rocky Marciano and Roland LaStarza, yeah. And they say that's the closest Rocky came to losing. But he got a split decision. One of the judges gave Roland a nod, but Rocky edged it out. Yep. May 31st, 1950. Vic Tawil becomes South Africa's first world boxing champion, outpointing world bantamweight champion Manuel Ortiz over 15 rounds in Johannesburg, South Africa. Yep, Manuel Ortiz went over there and lost his title. I wouldn't do that if I was a boxer. I'm the champion. You got to come to me. I don't care how much money it is in it. I am not coming to your country where all your fans, you might get the home cooking. And look what happened to Manuel Ortiz, went over there to South Africa and lost. Vic Tawil became the first South African world champion. Okay. Now, T. Hill says, Fury has had trouble with a lot of fighters. He just wasn't allowed to have loaded gloves in these fights and was in some absolute wars with Wilder. He is not the same fighter after he used to be. No, definitely not. What you think about? You think they're gonna go ahead and do the Fury and AJ, T. Hill? I see that one coming down the pike. One last fight, yeah, because they've been trying to get that for years, and I see them doing it. What you think about that, T. Hill? Okay. Now let's move on to August 25th, 1950. Sugar Ray Robinson defends his Pennsylvania version of the world middleweight title. Jake LaMotta was a universally recognized world champion, but Sugar Ray knocked out Jose Basura in guess what? 48 seconds. A record for a championship fight that stood for 37 years. That was in Scranton, Pennsylvania. You knew who broke it. Mike Tyson knocked out Marvis Frazier in 30 seconds. I think that was 87. Yep. That still stands as the fastest. 30 seconds. And Marvis got on up out of there. He didn't want to fight. Joe pushed that boy into that ring. After he got knocked out by Mike in 30 seconds, Marvis said, that's it. I don't care what you want me to do, Joe. I'm getting up out of this ring. Yep. And then on September 27th, 1950, Ezzard Charles retains his world heavyweight title with a 15-round unanimous decision over former world champion Joe Louis in New York. And it shall be said that although Charles was officially the world heavyweight champion since June 21st, 1949, many fans had still viewed Joe Louis for sentimental reasons more than anything else as the real world champion. Charles was officially recognized universally after he beat Joe Louis. Yeah, a lot of people were sentimental and still recognized. But Joe had it so long, remember? Almost 12 years, 25 title defenses. But after Ezzard beat him, they was like, nah, Joe, You ain't the man no more. February 14th, 1951. You know what happened. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Sugar Ray Robinson and Jake LaMotta finished their 6-fight boxing rivalry when Robinson wins the undisputed world middleweight title, knocking LaMotta out in round 13. But Jake finished on his feet. And remember, Jake only went down once in his career, and that was he took a dive in that one. A fixed fight. He got paid $20,000 and got a title shot. You know, the Mafia was running things. They controlled who got title shots, and they controlled who won them. So, yeah. May 30th, 1951. Ezra Charles beats world light heavyweight champion Joey Maxim for the 4th time in their career by a 15-round unanimous decision to retain the world heavyweight title. Maxim was attempting to become the first world light heavyweight champion to win the world heavyweight title, which Michael Spinks finally did because, you know, he still had the light heavyweight championship when he won the world championship. Joey Maxim was trying to accomplish that, but he fell short. July 18th, 1951. At the age of 37, Jersey Joe Walcott becomes the oldest world heavyweight champion in boxing history, knocking out Ezra Charles in 7 rounds. Charles was making the 9th defense of his title. Walcott maintained the record for 44 years. Again, you know who broke it? Iron Mike Tyson. 20 years old, and that still stands to this day. Iron Mike Tyson is the youngest heavyweight champion in history, 20 years old. Wilfred Benitez is the youngest champion overall at 17. And remember, when Wilfred won that title at 17, some of his high school classmates were at the fight. Incredible. September 26, 1951. Chapter 4 of the Sadler-Pep rivalry, as Sadler regained the world featherweight title with a 10th round technical knockout. Sadler and Pep fell to the floor so often when grabbing onto each other in this fight, the referee Ray Miller went to the floor with him during a 7th round fall. Both fighters were later suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission for what they viewed as dirty fighting, called the dirtiest fight in history. That one, yeah, that was terrible. Even took the referee down with him one time. But they became best of friends after their careers. I guess you fight somebody 4 times, you develop a certain respect for each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mike Mathick, been in the building. Salute, Mike. Yeah. 1952. Okay. March 13th, 1952. Sugar Ray Robinson retains his world welterweight title, defeating future world champion Carl Bobo Olsen by a 15-round unanimous decision. Robinson donated all of his earnings for this fight, except for $1, to the Damon Runyon Cancer Fund. Yeah, Bobo also was one of those great 1950s middleweights I'm always ranting and raving about. April 26, 1952. Okay, April 26, 1950. No, April 16th. Excuse me. April 16th, 1952. In a highly anticipated fight, Sugar Ray Robinson retains his world middleweight title with a 3rd round knockout of former world champion Rocky Graciano, who had knocked Sugar Ray down seconds before losing the fight in the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. Chicago. May 19th, 1952, Yoshio Shirai becomes Japan's first world champion in boxing history, defeating Dado Marino by a 15-round decision for the World Flyweight Championship, Tokyo, Japan. There they go again, going to the challengers' country and losing their belts. Dado went over there to Japan and lost. Shirai became Japan's first world champion on that day. Wherever Dado was from, he should have made Shirai come there. You know they're going to get that home cooking in Japan. No doubt about it. June 25th, 1952, Sugar Ray Robinson suffers from heat exhaustion and loses by knockout for the only time in his career when Dr. Alexander I. Schiff orders him not to continue after round 13 of his challenge to world light heavyweight champion Joey Maxim under 4-degree heat, right, in New York City. Now, before Robinson went down, referee Ruben Goldstein went down. He had to go to the hospital. Had to change referees first. Yeah. And Ray Miller stepped in and finished the fight. Only time Sugar Ray got stopped in his career, he got stopped by the heat. Yep. November the 15th, 1952. Jimmy Carruthers becomes Australia's first world boxing champion in history by knocking out South Africa's first world champion, Vic Tawil, in the first round to gain the world bantamweight title. So in the process of becoming Australia's first world boxing champion, Jimmy Carruthers knocked out South Africa's first world champion, Vic Tawil, remember? And he had just got it like the year before. I think it was 51. We just talked about him, remember? Yeah, in Johannesburg, South Africa. So Jimmy Carruthers went over there because see, Vic Tawil wasn't like them other people. Jimmy Carruthers had to come to South Africa to fight Tawil, and he was successful. Unlike the guy that went to South Africa and lost to Tawil. Right? Make them come to you if you're the champion. Come on. Jump to 1954. We got like 10 more minutes. We're going to finish up the 50s. We're going to start with Jack Dempsey versus the Big Bear, Sonny Liston. 1954. Okay? February 26, 1954. Lulu Perez beats Willie Pep by knockout in round 2 in New York City, the Garden. The fight is tainted with controversy, as many thought that it was a fixed fight. Pep later sued Sports Illustrated for $75 million after Sports Illustrated ran a story in 1981 that suggested Pep took a dive for $16,000. A jury deliberated for only 15 minutes to rule against Pep, right? Ruled against him. He was suing for $75 million in 1981, but the jury ruled against him. Sorry, Willie. Had to be fixed, man. You ain't knocking out no Willie. That's like knocking out Floyd or Sweet Pea, man. Willie Pep was a defensive master. That thing was fixed. Come on, Willie. Yeah, I think it was fixed. June 17th, 1954. World heavyweight champion Rocky Marciano defeats former champion Ezzard Charles. Charles was attempting to become the first boxer in history to recover the world heavyweight title, but Rocky got him by 15-round unanimous decision. Floyd Patterson later accomplished that feat. Floyd was the first one to lose the heavyweight title and then regain it back. Yeah, Floyd Patterson. August 11th, 1954. World light heavyweight champion, the Mongoose, Archie Moore, makes his Madison Square Garden debut, retaining the title with a 14th round knockout win over future world champion Harold Johnson. The Mongoose, yeah, it took the Mongoose 16 years to get a title shot. Man started his career at 23, didn't get his first title shot until he was 39, but guess what? He held it 10 years, okay, because Archie knew he may never get another one. So it was hard to get that thing up off of Archie. October 20th, 1952. Johnny Saxton becomes world welterweight champion, defeating Kid Gavilan by a 15-round unanimous decision in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was a controversial win, and 20 of 22 boxing reporters seated at ringside unofficially thought Gavilan should have got the decision. 20 of 22 reporters, but 3 of 3 judges didn't think so. And that's who kept the 3 of 3 judges, right? 1955, February 24th, 1955. African-American I.H. Sporty Harvey, who had successfully challenged boxing segregation in court, fights Buddy Turman in the first legal interracial boxing match in Texas history. 1955. Wow. September 21st, 1955. Archie Moore retains his world light heavyweight crown for third round knockout of world middleweight champion Bobo Olsen at the Garden. Highlights of boxing history. December 9th, 1955. December 9th. Sugar Ray Robinson joins the exclusive group of fighters who have been world champion 3 or more times in one division, winning the world middleweight title for the third time with a second round knockout of champion Carl Bobo Olsen. And remember what I told you what Carmen Basilio said. Carmen was hating. Carmen said, Sugar Ray, you had to lose it 5 times and win it back 5 times. Carmen was hating way back then in the 50s. 1956. Still got a couple more minutes. January 18th, 1956. Sandy Sadler retains his world featherweight title with a 13th round knockout of future world junior lightweight champion Flash Ellerday. It would be Sadler's last career title fight. Yep, Sadler's last career title fight. Sandy Sadler. March the 4th, 1956. March the 14th, 1956. Johnny Saxton regains the world welterweight title with a 15-round unanimous decision over Carmen Basilio. Once again, it would prove to be a controversial win, as most ringside reporters thought Basilio should have deserved the win. Johnny Saxton keep getting these controversial wins, man. What was up with that? Was he the Canelo of the 50s? Damn. That's the second one where the reporters gave it to the other guy, but the judges gave it to Johnny Saxton, and that's who counts. September 27th, 1956. September 27th, 1956. September 27th, 1956. I can't find nothing for September 27th, 1956. Okay, let's move on to the next one. 1957. May 1st, 1957. Sugar Ray Robinson wins the world middleweight title for a record 4th time, knocking out Gene Fullmer in the 5th round with a punch that becomes known as the perfect punch at Chicago. Winding down, 1958, couple more years. May the 25th, 1958. May the 25th, or is that March the 25th? Sugar Ray Robinson again breaks his own record, becoming world middleweight champion the 5th time by defeating Carmen Basilio for 15-round split decision at Chicago. Carmen again. That's Carmen and Sugar Ray in the opening too, one of the 3 fights. Rocky and Roll on the Stars of Joe Louis and Max Bayer, and Sugar Ray and Gene Fullmer. Those are the 3. And then September 14th, 1958. Ingemar Johansson defeats the contender Eddie Macon in the 1st round at Ullevi Gothenburg, qualifying him for a future title match against the heavyweight champion, Floyd Patterson. Yeah, and him and Floyd had a trilogy. Yeah. Floyd won 2 out of 3, all was knockouts. December 10th, 1958. Guess he was the old mongoose by then. The old mongoose. What? Al Booger? Tank vs. Roach is canceled. That was supposed to be the meet and greet. Damn. Al Booger just gave us some breaking news. First breaking for me. Jay Hardcore just said Tank vs. Roach is canceled. That was our meet and greet. Wow. Wait. Damn. Thank you, AB. Wow. That's big news there. Tank vs. Roach is canceled. December 10th, 1958. Then we're going to finish up. Wow. Archie Moore recovers from 3 knockdowns in the first round, another one in the fifth round, to knock out challenger Yvonne Durrell in 11 rounds to retain his world light heavyweight title in what is considered by many to be one of boxing's greatest fights in Montreal, Canada. Yeah, the old Mongoose kept it for 10 years. And finally, 1959, got a couple dates, 3 dates. March 12th, 1959, in the first World Junior Welterweight title fight contested since 1946, Carlos Ortiz becomes Puerto Rico's second world champion boxer, knocking out Kenny Lane in 2 rounds to win the vacant world title in New York City. Yeah, Carlos Ortiz was the second ever Puerto Rican champion, and I call him the best ever Puerto Rican champion. And 1959 was a historic year. I'm going to finish up with that. It was a very historic year. April 15th, 1959. Okay. Sonny Liston keeps his climb among challengers in the heavyweight division, knocking out Cleveland Williams in the 3rd round at Miami Beach. And finally, July 20th, 1959. In the first fight for the World Junior Lightweight title since 1949, Harold Gomes of Rhode Island wins the vacant title by decisioning Paul Jorgensen over 15 rounds at Providence. And then finally, 1959 was a historical year. October 14th, 1959, Cass Sports' The Boxtorian was born. Historic year, 1959. Okay? All right, that's it. We're going to start tomorrow with 1960. Yeah. Okay. 1960 tomorrow. Now we get ready to talk about the 1919, the Manasseh Mauler against 1960, the Big Bear. Jack Dempsey, Sonny Liston. Prime versus prime. 1919, Jack Dempsey versus 1960, Sonny Liston. Okay, Cass. It's a good idea to start on page 1, not 20. There we go. Fantasy matchups Monday. Jack Dempsey versus Sonny Liston. Okay. How's everybody today, though? The weekend is over. We had that big fight between Fury and Usyk. Usyk came out on top again. Real prison talk with Tommy. Salute, Dad. Congratulations. First time I got to tell you in here to Real Prison Talk with Tommy. Had a beautiful, healthy baby boy last week. Congratulations, Coach. And Prison Talk with Tommy. Also put some great videos out there. Salute. Prison Talk with Tommy. Okay, now let's get into this. Okay, I got to get situated. Man, after 3:30. Okay. What is this here? Okay, let's go. Fantasy matchups Monday. Jack Dempsey versus Sonny Liston. We're going to dedicate this entire show almost to this one fight. And then, time permitting, we got a couple other ones that we might look at. Here's my picture I was supposed to show during the highlights of boxing history. I always forget. It was Jersey Joe Walcott and Rocky Marciano. See Susie Q. Jersey Joe was out for 5 minutes after that shot, too. 5 minutes. Right hook. Yeah. And Jersey Joe was a hit on all 3 cards at the time. A hit on all 3 cards. But see, Rocky Marciano had that one punch power and, fight-changing power at any moment, And that moment happened in round 13. See, there it is right there. Jersey Joe was out for 5 minutes. I believe he's out right there already. Soon Susie Q landed. Yeah. Okay. And if we've time a minute, we got Rocky Marciano against Roy Jones Jr. How about that one? Now, Jack Dempsey and Sonny Liston are 2 of only 24 heavyweight champions to be undisputed, and both were in the Hall of Fame. Now, what would have happened if the first and 17th undisputed heavyweight champions somehow were able to clash at their best? 1919 Dempsey versus 1960 Liston. Now, styles make fights is the oldest truism in boxing and the best. And in this case, there's probably no worse matchup style-wise in boxing history for Jack Dempsey than the Big Bear. Now let's take a look at it. Tell you why I think that, okay? You know, every time I make a statement, I tell you why and show you why. So let's see why I think that the Big Bear was a bad style matchup for Jack Dempsey. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay? We're going to talk about the Big Bear, then we're going to talk about Jack. Now, the Big Bear, Sonny Liston. Okay? Wow, man, that fight was canceled. I can't get over that, man. That was the meet and greet, Al Booker, remember? Damn. Was you just joking, AB? Wow. Okay. Now, Sonny was at least in his early 20s when he first put on gloves. Sonny was incarcerated and out of boxing for 2 years when he was probably 26 until he was 28, right? Now, Sonny never had a classic prime period in his career. His dominant and peak period was from 1958, when he returned from prison, to his march to the title and defeats of heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson in 1962 and 1963. Now, writer and boxing historian Springs Toledo makes a strong case in his book, Gods of War, that the early 60s Liston is as good as any heavyweight in history, with the possible exception of 1960s Muhammad Ali. But legendary trainer Emanuel Stewart goes one step further and says Sonny might have beaten the best Ali. You know, Stewart stated, if Sonny and Ali had met in like 58 or 59, you know, a prime Liston and a prime Ali, he says, I don't know. Sonny at that stage was just such a really powerful wrecking machine. And Emmanuel talked about the fights he had with Cleveland Williams. He says, I don't know. Said he might have beat Ali at that time if they had fought at that point. And former undisputed heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson was asked once who the hardest puncher he ever faced was. And Floyd said Ingemar Johansson. And a surprised reporter said, well, what about Sonny Liston? You faced him. Patterson smiled and said, oh, I thought you meant fighters I thought I had a chance against. Yeah. He said he thought he excluded Sonny because he didn't have a chance against Sonny, you know. Now, when Patterson finally agreed to defend his titles against Sonny, he was asked about Liston. Did Liston deserve a title shot, being an ex-con, right? And Floyd poured on the praise, saying, every man deserves a second shot, right? You know, because Sonny served his time. Floyd said everybody deserves a second shot. And when Liston was asked about Patterson, Sonny said, I'd like to kill him. After Floyd poured all that praise on him, Sonny said, I want to kill him and run him over with my car. He said, when the fight starts, I'm going to get what's coming to me, and Floyd's going to get what's coming to him. That was Sonny Liston, you know. He was a mean dude, man. Floyd poured all that praise on Sonny, but Sonny said, I want to kill him when I get him in that ring. Yeah. Prison Talk with Tommy says Liston is too big, too strong with that telephone pole jab. Exactly, Coach. Exactly. Great minds think alike. Exactly. My sentiments exactly. Too big, too strong, telephone pole jab. Yep. Okay. Now no one really knows how old Sonny Liston was because he was born in a shack and there's no medical records and no birth certificate was filed when he was born. Now, police records and the DOC prison records in 1950 listed Sonny as 22. And the prison doctor found that consistent with his appearance and musculature. Now, if the prison doctors and records were correct, Sonny was 30 in 1958. Some people think he was older than that. But if the prison records and everything was correct, he was 30 in 1958. And so in late 1958, his record was 21-1, right? And His record was 21-1. And his sole defeat out of those 22 fights was on points. And there was a fight where his jaw was broken, and that was his 8th fight. And his jaw was broken when he was caught with his mouth open, laughing at his opponent, right? And despite his jaw being broken a second time later in the same fight, Sonny fought on and almost won. Jaw broken not once, 2 times, right? Still almost won the fight. Finished the fight, lost on points, right? And after that fight, that's when Sonny entered the heavyweight rankings for the first time, okay? And at that point, still according, if those prison records were right, Sonny was 30 years old at that point. And he was beginning a march to the title in the boxing history at 30 years old, right? Now, Sonny was unusually experienced by his 22nd fight because from the onset of his career, he had been thrown in with a far better class of opponents than the average prospect went up against, right? Sonny's first 10 opponents had a combined record of 109 wins and 51 losses. And in his 6th fight, he was thrown in with all-time great Johnny Summerlin. And once Johnny got hit for the first time by Sonny, Johnny ran for his life the rest of the fight. And when Sonny beat him, a rematch was scheduled because Johnny's manager could not believe it. That this young guy had beat his man like that. And Sonny beat him again. Yeah. Sonny beat him again. And Sonny had been fighting 9 months. He had 6 fights when he was thrown in with Johnny Summerlin. And Johnny was a contender who had been fighting for nearly 5 years. And here's Sonny with 6 fights going up against him. Yet Sonny beat him on points, right? And like I said, after Sonny hit him with that first jab, Johnny ran for his life because he said he had never felt that kind of power before. Now, Sonny's march to the title over the next 2 years and his complete destruction of the top 10 contenders had never been done before. It hasn't been done since. Now, boxing was a mainstream sport at that time, and people greeted Sonny's destruction of the top 10 with awe, right? Sonny seemed invincible. In his march to the title, which began with his entry into the rankings in 1958, Sonny decimated the top 10 fighters, beat the top 10 contenders, knocked out 7 of the top 10, right? And thoroughly whipped an 8th one. And of the top 10 who faced Sonny, only Eddie Machen, who was fast. Oh yeah, I thought the music had stopped. Only Eddie Machen. Eddie Machen was fast, but not Ali type fast. He was the only one that managed to run and go the distance, but he still lost. Now, of the top 10, only Ingemar Johansson and Henry Cooper was the one Sonny didn't beat because they didn't fight him. Okay, he beat the entire top 10. I believe it was 1958, starting in 1958. And only 2 of the top 10 he didn't beat because they didn't fight him. Ingemar Johansson and Henry Cooper, right? They declined to fight Sonny. And the 8 opponents that in the top 10 that he did fight during this period had a combined record of 419 wins with only 99 losses, right? 13 of them came to Sonny. No other fighter in history has destroyed the top 10 the way Sonny did, before or since. Now, Sonny was born to be a fighter, right? His physical attributes bordered on the freakish, the insane. At 6'1", Sonny had an 84-inch reach, right? That's the reach of somebody almost 7 feet, man. And that was longer reach than of all other champions in history, with the exception of Primo Carnera. Sonny's neck was a massive 18 inches. But the stat about Sonny that initially looks like a typo is the one on his hands. When his hands was closed into a fist, they measured 15 inches around. 15 inches, man. That's the entire ruler, plus 3 inches. A 12-inch ruler plus 3 inches. That's how big his hands was around when he made a fist. Imagine that. A ruler, right? And that's virtually twice the size of the average man's, right? Now, Johnny Taco, he trained, legendary trainer Johnny Taco, he trained 3 of the hardest punchers in boxing history. Sonny Liston, George Foreman, and Mike Tyson, right? Define Arnie 1 in the building. What's up, Define Arnie 1? Jack Dempsey versus Sonny Liston. Define Arnie. What you think? Jack Dempsey versus Sonny Liston. I'm with Coach. Too big, too strong, too powerful, too much. Telephone pole jab. But salute Define Arnie 1. Yeah, now Johnny Taco, this legendary trainer from that period, he trained 3 of the hardest punchers in history. Well, he was up in the 80s too, because he trained Sonny Liston, George Foreman, and Iron Mike Tyson. And Taco was asked, which of them hit the hardest? And his answer came out quickly. Sonny Liston hit the hardest. And he was the strongest fighter I ever saw too. Emmanuel Stewart, the legendary trainer, said, Sonny was unbelievably strong, and his punching was like a wrecking machine. Another Hall of Fame trainer, Ray Arcel, said, I've seen all the great punchers, from Joe Louis and Rocky Marciano all the way up to Mike Tyson. And Ray trained the hands of Stone Roberto Duran. And Ray Arcel said, I've never seen anyone to compare to Sonny Liston. Okay? Undefeated heavyweight champion, Rocky Marciano set up Liston. He said, Sonny isn't faking his toughness, and his strength is just something you got to see to believe. And that jab, Rocky said Sonny can knock a man out with his jab. Like Coach said, telephone pole jab. Zara Farley, then the number 1 contender for the heavyweight title, said, when Liston hit him, he said, Zara said, the lights went out, and when I woke up, I asked Sonny what happened. And Sonny said, I hit you. And Farley said later, I was lucky Sonny didn't dislike me, so he just beat me up a little. Farley said, it's not a man that walks this earth stronger than Sonny Liston. Okay? Nino Valdez, as he lay dying from cancer, struggled heavily drugged heavily. Nino Valdez was dying from cancer, drugged heavily with morphine, was asked by his family if it hurt. Nino said, it doesn't hurt as bad as getting hit by Sonny Liston. Cleveland Williams, after almost dying from a police shooting, was asked how bad it hurt when he got shot. And he said, not as bad as fighting Sonny Liston. No human being hits as hard as Sonny Liston. That's just an example of how hard Sonny hit and what the other fighters and trainers thought about it, right? These are boxing people. Now, when Sonny was getting ready to get out of prison, now check this out. When Sonny was getting ready, let me see who came in. Okay. When Sonny was getting ready to get out of prison in 1950, in order to showcase his potential, Sonny had never competed at the amateur or professional levels at this point. The prison athletic director, Father Stevens, arranged to bring in a rising professional boxer, St. Louis heavyweight named Thurman Wilson. Thurman was 5 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw as a professional at that time. And that was to showcase Liston's potential. They brought this professional fighter into the prison to give Sonny a little publicity because he was getting ready to come home. Now, Wilson expected no trouble with a man who was coming out of prison, had never had a sanctioned amateur or professional fight, right? And the story goes that it was a 4-round exhibition. After 2 rounds, Wilson, the professional fighter, quit, saying, y'all better get me out of this ring before he kills me. He said, y'all better get me out of here before Sonny kills me. He quit, right? So Sonny was also a terrific technical boxing fighter. He was also a terrific technical fighter. A good barometer of how good Sonny Liston really was A good barometer. Who was it? A good barometer of how good Sonny Liston really was is his twice destroying a very good heavyweight champion, Floyd Patterson, in the first round, both times. The first time in 126 seconds, and the second time 4 seconds earlier. Both fights were carbon copies of each other, right? Now, at the time, Sonny was already way past his prime, right? And Floyd was only 27. Yeah, Sonny was up in his 30s then. Some people say close to 50, right? Yeah, nobody really knows because, when he was born, there was no medical records kept, no birth certificate was filed, so nobody knew how old this man was. Some people said he was damn near 50 when he fought Ali, right? So when he fought Floyd, they say he was past 40. Floyd was only 27. But anyway, Sonny did not come out swinging wildly, going for the knockout. He took Floyd apart methodically, setting him up with left jabs and solid body shots. Liston showed fast hands, using an accurate left jab along with hooks and uppercuts. He followed a definite game plan, executing it perfectly. If Liston and Patterson fought 100 times during that period, the result would have been the same all 100 times, okay? Now, a lot of people never recognize how great of a technical boxer Sonny Liston was because of his power. But Liston was a truly great, legendary fighter. Yep. But his power was so much that, a lot of people didn't realize how good he could box. Yeah. That happens a lot, Like Tank. A lot of people don't realize how good Tank can box because, always knocking everybody out. But knockouts don't just come. You got to set them up, right? And that's what Sonny Liston did. Now let's talk about the Manasseh Mauler, Jack Dempsey. Okay, we're going to do a tale of the tape and everything. Let's talk about Jack real quick. The Manasseh Mauler, Jack Dempsey, right? Now, Jack Dempsey was not only one of the most exciting heavyweight champions in history, he was also one of the greatest all-time pound-for-pound fighters, right? Dempsey has one of the best knockout records in history, with an unparalleled winning streak of 32-0, with 28 of those 32 by knockout, including 17 of them in the first round, okay? 17 in the first round. And during that stretch, his knockout rate was 87.5%. 17 in the first round. Now, Dempsey learned how to fight in hobo camps. Now, because of his family's poverty, Dempsey dropped out of elementary school to work, and he left home at the age of 16. Now, due to his lack of money, he frequently traveled underneath trains when he could not sneak onto cars. He rode under them, right? Riding the rails, that's what it was called. And he slept in hobo camps. Now, Dempsey would say later in life, those hobo camps were where he learned how to fight, okay? Those hobo camps. And he stated, you had to fight to survive. Now, Dempsey would visit saloons and challenge for fights. He'd walk into the saloon and say, I can't sing and I can't dance, but I can lick any SOB in the house. Now, if anyone accepted the challenge, bets would be made and the fight would go on. And according to Dempsey, he didn't lose many of those fights because if he lost, he wouldn't eat, right? Because it was winner take all. So if he lost, he didn't eat. So he said he didn't lose much of it. And that was before he took up boxing. He hadn't even taken up boxing at that point. But at his peak, Dempsey was one of the most dynamic and devastating heavyweights to ever step into a boxing ring. He had speed, strength, above average boxing skills, lusty punching power, and a blazing spirit. His barbing and weaving style made him a difficult target to hit, right? But when he was hit, he had the ruggedness to take it, Yeah, both him and Sonny had great chins. Yeah. Define Arnie once said, Sonny Liston, one of those weird careers where people remember you for a loss more than for anything else. Like Michael Moorer and a few others. That is so true. Great point, yeah. Most people remember Sonny Liston from that Phantom fight. and the first Ali lost. And Michael Moore, yeah, defined Arnie from that Foreman loss. When Foreman became the oldest man to win the title and recaptured it. And that's what Michael Moore is remembered for. The man that Foreman recaptured the title in the second career from. Yeah. Sad but true. Great point, defined Arnie. Yep. Yeah, but both Sonny and Jack had great chins. Now, Jack was lithe as a panther and just as savage. He packed one of the most powerful punching combinations in the boxing game, right? And he was an all-time generationally great fighter, right? Now, he went up against Jess Willett. Jess Willett was 6'6.5" with an 84-inch reach. Now, listen to that. Now, see, I was talking about Sonny. Sonny was 6'1", had an 84-inch reach. Jess Willett, who fought back in Dempsey's era, was 6'6.5" with an 84-inch reach, 5 inches taller than Sonny with the same reach. Now, Jess Willett was nearly as big as any of these modern-day giants and a lot stronger, since Jess worked on a farm, right, and wrangled horses. And he outweighed Dempsey by 58 pounds, right? And he was almost 6 inches taller than Jack and had 13 inches of reach on Dempsey, right? And Dempsey still knocked Jess Willett down 7 times in the first round, okay? 7 times in the first round. And Willett's face was so bloody when the fight was stopped. His corner stopped it after the 3rd round. And afterwards, Willett sat in his corner crying. Now, that was a big win for Dempsey, but it was his war with the original wild bull of the Pampas, Louis Firpo, that locked Dempsey into fistic history. In that fight, right, in the first round of the 1921 title fight with Louis Firpo, Dempsey faced the man in Firpo, 2 inches taller with 6 inches of reach and 24 pounds on Jack. Dempsey knocked Firpo down 7 times in the first round, but Firpo got up from all of them, and he hit Dempsey with an overhand right for the ages and knocked Jack clear out of the ring, right? Knocked Dempsey clear out of the ring. And Dempsey was literally knocked out of the ring onto the ringside sports writers' table where the sports writers were sitting at. And all of a sudden, it seemed a new world champion was about to be crowned. But on the count of 9, Dempsey managed to limp back into the ring, right? And he survived until the end of the round. But he was battered as never before. Did that stop him? Of course not. Dempsey roared back in the second round, closed in, and knocked Firpo down 2 more times. And Firpo did not get up from the 3rd knockdown. And that was the 10th time he had been down on the canvas in the fight, right? Now, Dempsey's aggressive fighting style and incredible punching power made him one of the most popular boxers in history. He had really incredible power and, equally importantly, unusual speed, hand and foot. Dempsey was driven by forces modern fighters could never understand. Dempsey started fighting at 15 years old against bigger and older opponents, right? And Dempsey said about his young age, starting out as a fighter, okay? He said, "When I was a young fellow, I was knocked down plenty of times, and I wanted to stay down, but I couldn't. I had to collect the $2 for winning or go hungry." So he said he had to get up or go hungry, okay? And Dempsey said, "You could have hit me in the chin with a sledgehammer for $5. When you have me eating for 2 days, you'll understand." Now let's compare these fighters' styles, okay? Let's compare these styles. We get ready to do the tail of the tape. Let's compare the styles between Dempsey, the Manasseh Mauler, 1919 Jack Dempsey, the Big Bear, 1960 Sonny Liston. Comparing styles. Now, Dempsey at his best was a whirling pressure fighter who used speed and incredible power to overwhelm his opponents. He depended on speed and a great chin. He was only stopped once in 67 fights. Dempsey was not a classic infighter because, unlike Frazier or Marciano, he did not keep constant pressure on, but he was an intermittent pressure fighter who depended on mercilessly battering his opponents. Dempsey possessed a lethal left hook and a powerful right hand as well. Now, Sonny. Let's look at Sonny's style, the big bear. Then we're going to do the tail of the tape. Let's look at the big bear style. Sonny Liston. Everybody punching on the like button. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Now, Sonny Liston is perhaps alone in boxing in that he had both superb technical skill and power, the equal or superior of any slugger in history. Liston could do it all. He had technical genius, great ring IQ, and while a natural boxer, could fight a war if he chose. And in addition, was perhaps the strongest man in boxing history. Now, the tail of the tape between Sonny Liston and Jack Dempsey. Speed. Dempsey had incredible quickness in his prime, both of hand and foot. Liston at his peak was amazingly quick. Speed advantage goes to Dempsey. Speed advantage goes to 1919 Jack Dempsey. Strength. Dempsey was extremely strong, but Liston is the only man to ever physically overpower Big George Foreman. Sonny once lifted Ali off the ground with one hand, right? And Liston also picked up a police officer over his head and hurled him into a dumpster. Enough said on strength. Strength advantage, Liston by a mile. Okay, strength goes to Liston. Power. Strength goes to 1960 Sonny Liston. Okay, power. Dempsey had all-time generational power. 81% of his wins came by stoppage. But Liston almost matched that with 78% of his wins coming by stoppage. And unlike Dempsey, Liston did not look for knockouts. He was first and foremost a pugilist. In addition, Liston managed feats Dempsey would not be able to match. Liston once literally knocked to pieces protective headgear. The stitching tore apart from the power of Liston's blow, which was a jab, okay? Tore apart the stitching of headgear with a jab. Sonny also knocked or broke off 16 teeth from a boxer with one punch. Also a jab. Also a jab. Knocked out 16 of somebody's teeth with a jab. Power advantage, Liston. But make no mistake, Dempsey also had incredible power. But power advantage is 1960 Sonny Liston. Okay? Fundamentals and technique. Fundamentals and technique. If you want to see a picture-perfect punch, watch Liston's 2 first-round knockouts of Floyd Patterson. Okay? Go back and watch each of those fights. If you want to see a picture-perfect punch, watch both of those knockout blows. Both times, the finishing punch was a right cross. Sonny put incredible force into any punch, but his kill shots were left hooks and right crosses. And he caught Floyd with right crosses both times. Okay? Now, Sonny was also deadly with straight rights once he opened his opponents up with his jab. Sonny was much better. He was a much better boxer than generally known. A really first-rate technical boxer who set his opponents up with his 84-inch reach, timing, and thunderous jab. Like Coach Pizzatop with Tommy said, that telephone pole jab. Once he opened you up with that, you were in trouble. And then he dropped the straight or right cross on you, like ringing a bell. Sonny Liston was a truly outstanding technical boxer. Despite his awesome strength and power, as Angelo Dundee noted, Liston, he took his time to set his opponents up, to gauge their skills and reaction time before finishing them. Now, Dempsey was crude, but his crudeness was effective as he roared inside, punching with incredible speed and power from all angles. fundamentals and technique advantage goes to 1960s Sonny Liston by a mile. Yeah, that was fundamentals and technique. Goes to 1960 Sonny Liston by a mile. Defense. Who has the defense advantage between these two legendary heavyweights? The first and 17th undisputed heavyweight champions. Jack Dempsey was the first undisputed heavyweight champion. Sonny Liston was the 17th. Defense. Now, Dempsey depended on his great chin, speed, and furious style for defense. Sonny Liston was an excellent defensive fighter. He knew all the tricks, had excellent head movement, slipped and ducked, and used his incredible reach, the hardest jab in boxing history, and his strength to move in and out, slip shots, and clinch when he had to. Sonny was only legitimately knocked out once in his career, and he was at least 40 when that happened, and he got caught with a freak shot. Sonny had a great chin. Defense advantage, 1960, Sonny Liston, again by a mile. Okay, intangibles. Dempsey was simply ferocious. Late in his life, he said, "Nobody has to go hungry today. There's plenty of work for a man who wants to work. A kid can make plenty of dough for himself doing almost anything. In my day, I was hungry. I had to fight my way along. The life was tough, but it hardened me." Sonny Liston feared no man on earth. Hitched to a plow, literally, when he was 9 years old. And when the farm mule died. Yeah, when the mule died, his father hit Sonny to the mule. Okay, and he was beaten with a black snake whip if he didn't pull the mule hard and fast enough. Right? Sonny had lived a harder life than people can imagine, and he survived it, part by an iron will and fearless, ferocious nature. Right? Mike Tyson himself says, flatly, the most powerful, strongest, most intimidating fighter in history was Sonny Liston. Intangible advantage, 1960s, Sonny Liston, but not by much. Okay, that one is not by much. Jack Dempsey is right there with him, man. Both tough guys. Now, okay, intangibles. A Dempsey-Liston fight. Which style would prevail? Now, Liston could sit behind the most powerful jab in history and 11 inches of reach, time Dempsey, and counter as Dempsey came in, or simply outbox Jack. Dempsey had no choice but try to roar inside and try to make it a war. Now, Dempsey could use his speed and run and survive like Eddie Machen did, but that simply is not the Manasseh Mauler, who would rather go out on his shield, okay? This fight would be an absolute war for as long as it lasted. Dempsey, at his 1919-1920 best, was amazing. Only two kinds of fighters could have beaten 1919 Jack Dempsey. A faster, bigger boxer like an Ali who could hit him yet avoid his power. And the second one is a great boxer who was more powerful and could force Dempsey back. And the second one I described is Sonny Liston, right? Sonny was simply a far better technician, far stronger, and just as powerful. Like President Talk with Tommy said. Now make no mistake, Dempsey would come after Sonny, but Liston would force him back and overpower him, and around the 8th, 9th round, knock him out. Liston by knockout. Okay, in this one. Sonny Liston by knockout. Now I got a couple more for you. Okay. A couple more heavyweight matchups. But that was the main one for the show. Sonny Liston and Jack Dempsey. How about Mike Tyson and Joe Frazier? Mike Tyson and Joe Frazier. Let's get that going. How's everybody today, though? We got we're right at the beginning of a big week of boxing history. Tomorrow is going to be the welterweight division. You know how we do on Tuesdays. We're looking at the division. A little history of it. We're going to look at some of the top welterweight, all-time greats, former welterweights. And we're going to look at some of the current welterweight, top names currently in the division, right? The rankings, current champions, all that. And some top welterweight fights. And then Wednesday, we got a Christmas Day special. We got a Christmas Day special Wednesday. We're going to talk about some boxers born on Christmas, right? Some great fights that happened on Christmas. Some other significant events in boxing that happened on Christmas, right? So tune in Wednesday for the Christmas Day special. Yeah, we're going to have Cast Sports at 2 o'clock Wednesday. You know, ain't nothing but Christmas. And then we're going to talk about this holiday called Boxing Day. It's centered around Christmas. Tune in Wednesday and find out what Boxing Day is, okay? All that's Wednesday. So let's look at this. Mike Tyson and Joe Frazier. Who y'all got in that one? Smoking Joe Frazier versus Iron Mike Tyson. Who y'all got? Let's look at it. Okay. Smoking Joe Frazier, Iron Mike Tyson. If I can find it. Oh yeah, and then Thursday is boxing in the States. Nevada. Had to go back, missed a couple. Nevada, Las Vegas, the boxing capital of the world. And then Friday, don't miss Friday. The profile is the life and career of the Hawk, Aaron Pryor. Ducked by all the four kings, okay? All of them. None of them had no excuse for not fighting. They all come up with excuses. Took away my eye, but none of them fought it because they didn't want to. I don't blame them. If I was a fighter around that time, 140, 147, I wouldn't have fought Aaron Pryor neither. That man was, he was a handful. Okay, Mike Tyson and Joe Frazier. Now hold on to your heads, if you can. Had Joe Frazier and Mike Tyson ever fought, someone probably would have had their dome launched off their shoulders and into the third row, right? Between these two, they have 71 career knockouts in 95 fights, okay? That is a knockout rate of just under 75%. Now, basic translation, only 1 in 4 guys these two fought went the distance with them. They both have tremendous resumes, right? Tyson was the youngest ever heavyweight champion, still is, at age 20. And Joe Frazier was the first man to put a blemish on Muhammad Ali's record. Remember? Yeah, Smoking Joe. Now, Frazier and Tyson are the same height, but Frazier has a 2-inch reach advantage over Iron Mike. Now, Frazier liked to bob and use his Philly shell defense to protect himself from punches, but defense was usually not on Smoking Joe's mind. Frazier was looking to land one big left hook to end the fight. And Frazier's whole purpose, once that bell rang, was to get inside. Whatever he had to do to get inside, bob, weave, whatever, side to side, that was Smoking Joe's whole purpose. Joe Frazier wasn't trying to box, none of that. Like I say, wasn't worrying about defense. He was trying to get next to you. Smoking Joe's whole purpose was to get next to you, right? Mike Tyson had a similar strategy. He liked to go in and make quick work of his opponents with vicious hooks to the body and head, right? On Mike's best punch, however, was probably his crushing uppercut. Now, picking a winner in this fight is tough. The fight would probably come down to 2 factors. Who could land first and who could take the most punishment? Frazier and Tyson would go back and forth, but man, I would have to go with Smoking Joe. I have to go with Smoking Joe, man. You know, Smoking Joe only lost to 2 men in his career. Lost to each of them twice. Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. That's it. Nobody else beat Smoking Joe. And I don't think Iron Mike would be doing it either. Okay? Smoking Joe had that great chin. And you know what? You had to damn near kill Joe Frazier to beat him. Okay? Joe Frazier was blind in both eyes in round 15 in Thriller in Manila. Still arguing with his trainer. His trainer trying to stop the fight. Joe's still trying to come back out there. Couldn't even see, man. Couldn't even see. So you had to almost kill Joe Frazier. So I'm picking Joe Frazier over Mike Tyson. Okay? Smoking Joe Frazier. Okay, how about Rocky Marciano and Roy Jones Jr.? What y'all think about that one? Rocky Marciano and Roy Jones Jr. Who y'all got? Let's talk about it. 14 likes. That's very interesting. But I ain't mad. Okay, Rocky Marciano and Roy Jones. I ain't saying another word. I'm just messing with y'all. Some people do that. I ain't saying another word. I ain't know everybody ain't hit the like. Come on. Now, Rocky Marciano versus Roy Jones Jr. Okay. Now, Rocky Marciano was as tough as nails. After an 8-year career, he retired with a record of 49 wins, no losses, 43 knockouts. I believe it's 87%. I done did his knockout rate so many times. That's one of my favorites, Rocky Marciano. And Roberto Duran is my favorite, but Rocky is up there. 87.7%. Might as well say 88. Roberto Duran is my favorite. The Hands Up Stone. Okay, that's my favorite boxer. Now, yeah, Rocky had 87% knockout rate. And he became the first heavyweight champion to retire undefeated. Still the only one, right? Now, Roy Jones Jr. was fighter of the decade in the 1990s. And at one point in his career, he held a record 7 light heavyweight championship belts concurrently. Roy Jones became the first middleweight fighter in over 100 years to win a heavyweight title when he beat WBA champion John Ruiz. Bob Fitzsimmons was the other one to do it in like 1896. Okay? Now, on paper, Marciano looks to have the advantage, but he is actually the smaller fighter by an inch, and he gives up 7 inches in reach to Roy. And during his reign as champion, Marciano weighed between 178 and 185 pounds. Jones was at his best at light heavyweight, where he weighed 175 pounds. Now, the fight could yield mixed results. If Marciano could catch Jones, he would drop him like a bad habit and win the fight. But catching Jones in his prime was nearly impossible. Jones would use his superior speed and God-given gifts to pluck away at Marciano and cut him up badly. Now, as long as Jones was able to keep Marciano at arm's length, he would cruise to an easy decision. Now, I would bet on that happening. At his best, there are only a handful of fighters who could beat Roy Jones, and I don't think Rocky was one of them. Because Roy had a significant reach advantage. I think he would be able to keep him at arm's length. Yeah, but if Rocky got Suzy Q on him, let me show you something. If Rocky got Suzy Q on him, all bets are off, Roy. You know what I'm saying? There we go. If Rocky got Suzy Q in, then Roy's in trouble. See, that's Suzy Q right there. Meet Suzy Q. Right? Look at Jersey Joe. He was out for 5 minutes. But if Roy could stay at arm's length, keep away from Suzy Q, he could cruise. Yeah. But he better be. Roy had to be alert every minute of every round because, man, Rocky had fight-changing power. Fight-changing power. But next is Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis. Yeah, Rocky had that could be the 12th round, down 11 rounds of nothing, and get Suzy Q in, and that's it. It's a whole different fight all of a sudden. Yep. Muhammad Ali versus Joe Louis. That's one of the biggest fantasy fights ever. Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis, and Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. Yeah, those two are two of the biggest fantasy fights ever. We get ready to get some link time after I do these. Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis. Okay. Now, These are the greatest two heavyweight champions of all time, right? That's what I think. Now, Muhammad Ali was one of the most physically gifted fighters ever. He had blazing speed, tremendous footwork, and deceiving power. You know, he was a heavyweight, moved like a welterweight, right? Moved around the ring like a welterweight, and often dared opponents to hit him by placing his hands at his sides. He finished his career with 56 wins, 37 by knockout. Now, his opponent, the Brown Bomber, was every bit as sensational, right? Joe Louis held the heavyweight title for 11 years and defended his title a record 25 consecutive times, right? And out of those 25 times, 23 of them were knockouts. Only 2 men went the distance with him. In 11 years, only 2 men went the distance with him, okay? And he finished his career with, he had 65, he won 65 fights, 51 coming by way of knockout. Now, Ali would have both an advantage in height, 1 inch, and reach, 4 inches. Ali would also carry the edge in speed, but Louis was without a doubt the much more dangerous puncher. No doubt about that. Now, the fight would be hotly contested, with both men taking and landing some huge shots. Ali's speed and chin would prove to be the difference, though, and he would outbox Louis and win by decision. Ali by decision. Because look at Billy Conn. Billy Conn gave Joe Louis a boxing lesson, remember? But then Billy Conn made the mistake of, Billy Conn gave Joe Louis a boxing lesson for 12 rounds. Then it was 15 rounds then. He made the mistake of coming out in round 13. He got overconfident and decided to stand toe-to-toe with one of the greatest finishers in boxing history. And he didn't even make it the whole round. Joe Louis stopped him. And guess what? Joe Louis needed a knockout. So if Billy Conn can outbox Joe Louis, Ali ain't going to make no mistake and stand toe-to-toe with him. Ali going to continue to outbox him. So I have to pick Ali in that one. Okay. And finally, we got Ali and Mike Tyson. One of the other biggest of the big dream fights. Ali and Tyson. Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. Okay, this is the last one. We're gonna do some link time. Okay. Now, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more in the building. What's up, Bruce Gas? Who you got on that, AB? Tyson and Frazier. Who you got on that one? Salute, Bruce Gas. Little fantasy boxing Monday. We did, the show was mostly 1919 Jack Dempsey and 1960 Sonny Liston. I picked Sonny by knockout. Just too big, too strong, too much, you know. But it would be a war for as long as it lasted. I just thought that Sonny was just a better technician. And Jack would have to try to get inside, you know. And Sonny just had that jab, man. And like I was telling them, Sonny knocked 16 teeth out of somebody's mouth with the jab. And he split the stitches in the headgear part with a jab one time in sparring. So yeah, that man. And then that's just the jab, not even talking about that right hand, that cross, which he stopped Floyd Patterson with 2 times. So yeah, I picked Sonny in that one. And then we had Mike Tyson and Joe Frazier. I picked Joe Frazier in that. Rocky Marciano and Roy Jones, I picked Roy. Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis, I picked Muhammad. And now finally, Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. This is the last one. Then we're going to drop the link in. Appreciate everybody stopping by this Monday of Christmas week. C. Wood won the raffle. And guess what? C. Wood won the raffle, and it was his birthday, man. Isn't that something? It was his birthday. Wow. Of all the names in that thing, somebody whose birthday it was came out, man. That's crazy, ain't it? That is absolutely crazy. And now Al Booker tells us at the beginning of the show that the Tank, damn, who was Tank fighting? Shit. Well, I can't think of it. Tank and, who is Tank fighting, man? It's canceled. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. Put it in the chat, AB. I can't think of it. The fight was canceled. Tank and somebody. I can't believe this. Ooh, Prison Talk with Tommy takes Holmes over Liston. Okay, I could see that. I could see that. I could see Holmes outboxing Liston. That would be a great fight, though, because two good jabs. A lot of people would think that would be a walk, but I could see that be a technical thing, Coach, between them two. A good boxing, a good chess match. I could see that happening, man, between those two. Holmes over Liston from Prison Talk with Tommy. Okay. Oh, Lamont Roach, that's the one. Right. I couldn't think of him. Yeah, the Tank. I'm hearing the Tank and Lamont Roach fight has been canceled. Wow. What happened, AB? Somebody get injured or something? Because it was what, March 1st? Or, I don't know. I thought they had the money and everything all set up, the venue, everything. Wow. What happened, AB? Somebody got hurt? That's crazy. But let's do this and drop the link. We're going to talk about this. Okay. There would be unquestionably the highest grossing fight in the history of boxing. It would feature the two most popular heavyweights of the last 50 years, Ali and Tyson. It would go down as the fight of the millennium. Ali was charismatic and fun, and Mike Tyson was violent, vulgar, and full of hate. Could you imagine the press conference between these two? It would be a sports writer's dream to have these two sitting at the same table with guess who? Don King in between them. Wouldn't that be something? It would be a classic contrast in styles. Ali's speed and grace against Tyson's unearthly power. Now, Ali was poetry in motion in the ring, and Tyson was like a wrecking ball looking to crush anything in his path. And the most hyped fight in history, and it would be a dud. Better yet, a complete landslide. As good as Tyson was, he wouldn't stand a chance with Ali. Ali would have a 9-inch reach advantage and would be too fast and accurate with his punches. Tyson would not ever be able to get close enough to unleash any of his big bombs on the chin of Ali. And even if he did get through, he would pay dearly for it, right? Because you got to consider what's going to be coming back as Mike getting through, right? Now, the fight would unfold like Ali's fight with Joe Frazier. Ali would stand on the outside and batter Tyson with straights until both of his eyes were closed. At some point, either the referee or the corner would call the fight, or Ali would put Tyson on his back, and he'd stay there. The fight would reveal what we already know to be true. Mike Tyson was a very good fighter for a period of time, but Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time. Okay, let's drop the link. Yeah, that would be the build-up and everything would be classic and all that, but the fight would be an absolute dud. Be a one-sided beatdown. Ali and Tyson. One-sided beatdown. Oh, Holyfield and Marciano would be, that would be a good one, Coach. Holyfield and Marciano. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link in now because we got like 30 minutes to Just Do Boxing. I believe Just Do's coming on today. Let me put the link in. Anybody want this? Link is for everybody. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to be JBT or TWT. You can be anybody and come up and chop it up on the link. But I appreciate everybody today, this Christmas week. C. Wood won the raffle, and it was his birthday, man. Is that crazy or what, man? He won $725 4 days before Christmas and his birthday. Damn, we couldn't have written a script up for it to turn out any better than that, man. Wow. Couldn't even have planned that. The man's birthday. And he got his money 5 minutes after Usyk got his hand raised, like I told y'all. Yeah. And he has officially acknowledged receipt of it. But man, I can't believe about that fight, man. Tank and Roach has been canceled. Man, I'm gonna have to call Jay Hardcore because I gotta know why. What happened? Damn. What happened? Man. What happened, AB? You still in here? Did somebody get injured or something? Because I thought everything was all set. The purses and the venue and all that stuff. I thought everybody was happy. You know? That was the JBT's meet and greet and everything next year. We had picked out a place to have it. We was getting ready to like put some money down on the place and reserve it and stuff. Well, I guess we gotta wait and see what happens now. I don't know. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, here we go. This should be the link. Wow. Yeah, the fight is off, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, Coach Holyfield and Marciano would be. That would be a good one there. Really, two cruiserweights. Tell you the truth. Or Usyk. How about Usyk and Marciano? Usyk and Marciano would be good. Yeah. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to talk about the welterweight division. You know, history of welterweights. Some of the all-time greats like the Sugar Ray Hearns, the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran, Oscar, Pacquiao, Floyd. We're going to talk about some current guys, you know, like Boots and Stanionis and Barrios, Brian Norman, Jaleel Hackett. Some of the current welterweights. And some great welterweight fights we had in the past. Yeah. Current champions, current rankings. We're going to just talk about welterweight tomorrow. Have some fun with that. And then Wednesday, we're going to talk about some boxing on Christmas. Some significant events that happened in boxing related to Christmas. I think it's called Boxing Day. And we're going to talk about, find out what that is Wednesday. Boxing Day. I don't even know what it is myself yet. But it's Boxing Day, something to do with British boxing. And it happens around Christmas. I think December 26th is when it happens on. But we're going to find out Wednesday. We'll find out together. And we're going to talk about some boxers that's born on Christmas. I already got a couple of them down. I ain't going to tell y'all yet, though. Some boxers that was born on Christmas Day. Yeah. Wednesday, December 25th. Thursday is boxing in the States, Nevada. And then the Hawk Friday, Aaron Pryor. Yeah. We're going to talk about his life and his career Friday. And we got Tito Trinidad coming up next week because BVO requested that. I did him before, but BVO requested it. So we're going to do him next week. But it was this week, but then I decided we got to do something for Christmas this week. Yeah. And then, yeah, another big week of boxing history. Yeah. But, you know, let's look at some other matchups since, you know. How about this one? Let's see. Not heavyweight. I'm out of the heavyweight division. Sugar Ray Robinson versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Now I've done this. Oh, there's somebody right there. There's Aunt McQueen. I gotta find the cursor, Aunt. There it is. There we go. What's up, Aunt McQueen? Yeah.
Chilling.
What is happening? Oh, not too much. Just talking some more boxing.
Going with the box story.
Yeah, just talking some more boxing. Matchups and stuff, man, you know. Did the fight go about like you thought it would Saturday? Any surprises or anything?
Nah, no surprises. No, I will say this. I ain't gonna lie to you. There was a surprise.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
I was surprised that Fury was as docile as he was, man.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect him to cooperate as much as he did. Because in the middle rounds of the first fight, he had a lot of real success when he was
yeah, he did.
Being firm and being decisive and deliberate. You know what I mean? He was landing good right hand, landing some really good uppercuts and what have you. But in the second fight, outside of, I think it might have been like round 4, he didn't really have any decisive rounds.
No,
even the rounds that he won early on, you could argue that they were swing rounds. I felt like Usyk did a really good job of feeling the play from him. Every time Fury landed a shot, Usyk come back with 2 or 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same can be said for the rounds, because Fury had a very strong round 4, and I was like, oh man, maybe he's about to turn the tide and
take over.
That was some momentum.
Yeah.
Nope.
But it didn't happen.
After that, Usyk rattled off about 4 strong rounds consecutively. I was like, man. But I just didn't expect Tyson Fury to be as cooperative. I didn't expect him to exhaust every contingency that he had up his sleeve. I didn't expect that either, because you look at that second fight, he actually did quite a bit more from a tactical standpoint than he did in the first fight.
Usyk?
No, I'm talking about Fury.
Fury, okay. Yeah.
In this fight, he had switched from orthodox to southpaw several times.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to press him a couple times. He tried to box off the back foot on the perimeter of the ring a couple times. He was utilizing his legs a bit. Like, it seemed like he went through every single option that he possibly had and exhausted all of them. Yeah. But he didn't stick with anything long enough for it to have any real success for it to pay any dividends. Where Usyk, on the other hand, it seemed like whenever he got in rhythm and he was able to back Fury up, that was it. He just stuck with it and just managed to steal the fight from him, man. Yeah. Moment to moment, round by round basis. And it was just, I just didn't expect to see that from Tyson Fury. I thought he would have more resistance. I thought he'd provide more resistance. Yeah, that is so true. It was Usyk's fight. And Usyk is the fighter of the year, I think. Oh, without question. You would have to. I mean, the guy achieved. He achieved undisputed. For the accolade junkies out there, some people that love those. They love the achievements and all that. That's stuff. Right. And then he won the rematch. That sealed it. And he won the rematch, and it was more convincing in the rematch. I thought the first fight was far closer. Yes, it was. Despite Usyk having the bigger moment in the first fight, he scored the lone knockdown of the fight, but this fight, he was in far better control, far more command in this second fight than he was in the first fight. Yeah, I think it was much clearer than this one. Much clearer. Yeah. And he was a lot more efficient too. Like, you look at the punch stats, even though it's not an exact science, but still, according to the punch stats, he threw less and still outlanded Fury by like 50 some odd punches. And he was far more efficient too. Fury, I think he had like a 23% connect rate. And Usyk was at 42%. So close to half his punches landed. Like, it seemed like damn near he couldn't miss. You almost doubled Fury. Wow. Yeah, almost doubled him in connect rate. And that was extremely impressive because he threw, they say, according to the stats, he threw like 100 less, but landed like 50 more, and he was far more efficient. So that's a masterclass right there. Yes, it is. Masterclass. What's up, you fine, Arnie? How you guys doing? Arnie up here with us. Okay, how you doing today? The fine iron at all, man. We were just talking about the fight Saturday. That's all. What you think about it, Define Arnie? Did you expect? Did you pick Usyk or? Last minute, right when they were like referee giving instructions, I said, "F it, I'm going with Usyk." Literally, I couldn't call it, bro. But man, I think it's obvious that Fury ain't the same, and that's true. And that's understandable because he got in there 3 times with the scariest dude since Iron Mike, So, I think Usyk is an all-time great. And I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, Usyk wouldn't be able to hang with yesterday's heavyweights, as if that's an insult. So what, man? Like, he still should be mentioned. Go in there and get totally outclassed neither, I don't think. No. You can say that about everybody else, basically. Who will be able to hang with a prime Ali or with a prime Foreman or with a prime Tyson, That's true. That's true. But I think Fury, and I hate to say this honestly, but
Mm-hmm.
I think Fury had the wrong trainer. In my opinion.
Yeah.
All the respect to Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill was the perfect trainer for Wilder, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, because in the first fight, I think Ben Davison was still his trainer, and he did his thing, outboxed, and yeah, he got clocked a few times. And you can say what you say about the count, what people say about the count, and what have you, but he realized that he had to fight Wilder differently, and he made the brilliant move with Sugar Hill. But for fights after Wilder, because let's be honest, Wilder ain't the hardest dude to find. He's gonna be right there.
That's true.
You just need to avoid that bronze bombing right hand.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like an Usyk, or you're talking about something else here, bro. Like, he's not gonna be easy to pin down and put all your weight in him and what have you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's true. That is
and people forget Fury had issues early in his career with a guy by the name of USS Cunningham. People forget, like
Steve Cunningham.
Steve USS Cunningham, and
okay.
Usyk is like a Cunningham with steroids version,
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. You can obviously hindsight is 2020, but I think that after Wilder, he should have gone back to Ben Davison. But I mean, obviously Ben Davison is with AJ, so I don't know how possible that is. So,
what do you think about that one? Usyk and we still get Fury and AJ now.
I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't want either of them to fight again. To be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, why? Why if you're Usyk, like I get it for Fury, you
mean Fury and Usyk?
Yeah, I don't want either of them to fight again.
Yeah.
Especially Usyk, bro. Why? I love Daniel Dubois, but screw him, bro. You don't need to like.
Did they fight before? Right?
Yeah, they had that body show controversy.
Oh, right. That was that one. Yeah.
But Dubois young, bro. Dubois young. He's got a chin on him. I mean, you don't need that, bro. You don't need that if you're Usyk. I mean,
yeah. So you say retire?
No doubt. No doubt. Be a legend. Be a ghost and be a legend, bro.
He's 37, right?
Yeah,
37.
I mean, there's nothing else for you to accomplish.
Yeah, that's true. Except for make some more money.
I don't want to see that man get a badass whooping. I don't want to see that.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I don't see that being the case. I don't see him getting a badass whooping. I don't see that being the case. But as far as money is concerned, I'm pretty sure he's made enough of it to where if he spends it wisely, he invests, his money can generate more money for him. I don't think he's in a position where he needs to fight for money.
Right.
He's got enough to,
He might just
I hope
make
it's
it produce, make it yield something else. But I'll say this, Define Irony. I wouldn't necessarily say that hindsight is 2020. I think that sometimes it's more so us not reading the tea leaves. Like the signs were there all along, and we just refused to see them for whatever reason, or we just glossed over them. Because I thought about that Steve Cunningham fight myself. He had issues in that fight. He also had issues in the Otto Wallin fight. That was the fight where he got his eye busted up, and then this fight had to get postponed the first time around because of the cut. Had reopened.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And all of those guys are of similar stature.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can do some similar things, but to your point, Usyk does all of those things that both of those guys do, but he does it with speed. He does it with ferocity and just another level of focus.
It's even more
another level of focus.
Yeah.
We got till 4:30. Just do ain't coming on till 4:30 today. Just looked at that. Okay, so we can cook for a little while.
All right, get them pots and pans out. Get them pots and pans out. Time to cook.
But my
that's
point,
what I'm saying, like the signs were already there, Define Irony. So, well, I agree with what you're saying about the Steve Cunningham thing, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's a hindsight 2020 thing. It's like, yo, he was having these same issues with similar guys prior to Usyk. And like you said, Usyk is he's the paragon. He is the pinnacle of that type of style. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
Relatively small at heavyweight, nifty and nimble and agile. You know what I'm saying? You see the guys going up and down, changing levels, moving side to side, and he's able to get underneath. And Fury always does that probe. He pulls straight back with his arm extended. But those guys, they're small enough, they're swift enough, and then they can just creep into those crevices, man. Like, you want to back straight up, I'm gonna follow you out. I'm quick enough to follow you out. A guy like Deontay Wilder, he's not. And to your point about Sugar Hill, and I think you made a fantastic point about that as well. I don't know if Sugar Hill was not the guy for the job, or maybe, just maybe, he didn't come with the right game plan tactically.
Okay.
Maybe that could be the case, because I think the game plan for Wilder too, you're spot on with that. But here's the thing: Wilder doesn't have the versatility that Usyk has.
That's right.
You know, with Wilder, it's all about that straight right hand. So the thing with that, to avoid that, is don't even let him get the straight right hand off in the first place. We're going to lean on him and smother him. See, a lot of people, they look at that fight and they think about Fury being heavy so he could take Wilder's legs and zap his stamina. Yeah, that's part of it. But the other thing is, the best way to avoid something is to prevent it in the first place. You know what they say, prevention is the best cure. So if I could lean on you and I won't even allow you to get your right hand off, I don't even got to worry about dodging it. I don't got to worry about blocking it. I don't got to worry about slipping it. I don't got to worry about rolling underneath it, because you can't get it off in the first place. The train will not leave the station, so to speak. And that's exactly what Wilder did to him. I mean, what Fury did to him. He leaned on him and pressed him and didn't allow him to throw the right hand. And with Wilder, it's crazy that his team, they never cultivated the rest of his offense and built around the straight right hand. Because had Wilder had a semblance of an inside game and he was able to throw uppercuts or even hooks, any type of compact punch, he would be far more dangerous, and that game plan wouldn't have been able to work. But he has to get that shot off from full extension and keep you at the end of it to maximize the power of it. Otherwise, like, when you last time you seen Wilder knock somebody out with an uppercut or with a hook? Like, you just haven't seen it. All these straight right hand from distance.
I can't remember.
In regards to Usyk, my point with Usyk not fighting again, I mean, in these are all bigger guys, bro. They're all good. I mean, Dubois young, and he's. I mean, I don't know. I don't. Man, I don't want to see a man like that suffer a bad. Because these are all guys that are naturally bigger than you, all of them, and. You know, you fought this guy twice, AJ, and then you fight Fury twice. I mean, I don't know. To me, that's gonna, even though we haven't necessarily seen him, like, you know, badly hurt, but I don't know. You know, AJ hit him with a couple of stuffs that bothered him, and Fury, I felt like he went away from his uppercut in that second fight in general. Whereas if you see the first fight, he really bothered Usyk with the right uppercut because he loves those pre-slips and in and out and stuff. And I just this particular game, bro, like, you've achieved everything. Like, imagine all these opportunities that they're gonna have for you in your country and what have you. Like, I don't want to see him again. And well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he goes out there and by the way, why is Dubois in there? Don't you have to see Parker first, bro? Like, why is he even in there? Like, I don't. And I like Dubois, but I don't get it. Like, but I don't know.
It could be. You think it could be what do you call it? A situation where he was counting his chickens before they hatch.
Exactly. I mean, is it not like kind of disrespectful to Josh Parker?
I think so. I believe it is.
No doubt.
It is, because if you just step into this guy and you're acting like this W is a shoo-in, like it's just some foregone conclusion that you're gonna win without any contest or controversy. I mean, I think it's extremely disrespectful to Joseph Parker, especially considering the run that he's on.
That's right.
Exactly. I mean, they're both 2-0 coming off of two hell of wins. You know,
Yep.
Herkovich and AJ and the other guy,
Yeah.
Wilder and Big Bang China. So, I
Mhm.
mean, that's no man to be taken lightly, bro. Josh Parker is coming for you.
Yes, it'd be a good one.
And I don't know. I thought Usyk should have retired in the first fight, to be honest with you. But I mean, here I am proven wrong once again. So
Yeah. He might keep winning the fight, Arnie. You gotta have some confidence in it. He might still keep
man,
beating these big guys, man.
I
You know?
believe in quitting when you're ahead, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
These
I
are
hear
heavyweights, bro. Like,
you.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as accomplishment is concerned, I mean, what is there left for this guy to do?
That's
If
true.
he would be fighting, it would just be simply for the sake of fighting. Because
yeah,
if there's any truth to the numbers that have been floating around, you know, the speculation as to what he made in this fight, he definitely doesn't need to fight.
Right.
He doesn't need to fight. That guy should be paid. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
they're probably gonna make him something back home too. They're gonna
an
make him
ambassador or
something.
something of some sort, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
if he doesn't get into movies or something like that, they're probably gonna make him something about boxing, something about whatever. You know, all those
Mhm.
guys. Most of those guys, when they retire, they're pretty taken care of back there in Eastern
Yeah.
Europe and stuff. You know, they make you something. So I don't see the you know you want undisputed on
Yeah.
cruiserweight. That's
Because
what I
one
need.
of the Klitschko's, they became politicians. One of them became a mayor or something, didn't he?
Exactly. The Vitali is the mayor of, I don't remember if it's
Yeah.
Kiev or one of those cities.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
you know, Triple G is something back in Kazakhstan, I think is the name. And
Yeah. That's it.
I mean, I just don't. You gotta, like, why would you fight again? Screw the controversy of the. Screw it, bro. Screw it. Which fighter doesn't have at least one, like, black eye? You know, like, screw it, bro. Retire on top as the way you should retire, because in heavyweight, one punch can turn you old, bro,
Yeah.
real quick. And
And
Dubois
then
is a
maybe
young lion, bro. He's coming to get you, and he knows that he can get you because that body shot, bro, that was a body shot. So, bro, you don't need that, bro. I'm telling you.
And we
I
also
hear
But
you.
forget that this guy is an Olympic gold medalist too. I mean, he's won at the
Mhm.
highest level every
Oh
stop of
yeah.
the way.
I
it's
forgot
an
about that. Yeah.
exemplary career, bro.
Yeah.
He's got a hell of a career.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Hell of a
You
forgot
know,
career.
about the gold medal.
you don't want people to be talking about all these accomplishments and then, but look how he ended. Look how
Right.
guys he
Right.
looks. You understand? Like, you gotta
Yeah.
put a you don't want that
Mm-mm.
asterisk in your career
You
while
don't
you
want
don't.
that butt on the end.
No,
Yeah.
bro. Screw him. Screw Daniel Dubois, bro. Have him find someone else. You know.
Or just retire, like you say. You know.
Yeah, bro. This is the point of this is to get there.
37. Right.
You already got there. That's it. That's the point of this, is to get there. Now you already got there, and you beat the dude twice. You did something nobody else has done, and probably isn't ever gonna do, which is beat these two guys twice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's a big account. AJ and Fury twice.
you don't want to push your luck, bro. Trust me. And I don't say luck in a way that he got lucky. I say, like, you don't want to. Oh man, like, yeah, push your luck, so to speak. You know, you don't know, bro. This is not the division. This is not the time in this division to be messing around too much, bro. Nah.
Yeah.
They're gonna put some young lion on you, and they're gonna clean you up, bro. So nah. But I felt bad for Allen, bro. I don't know what happened in that decision. Allen Fisher.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. But what do you think, Ant? Do you think I'm wrong, maybe, or you want to see Usyk again, or maybe I'm a little exaggerating?
No, I'd say it's whatever Usyk wants to do. Now, personally, I feel like he doesn't have anything left to prove.
Nah.
If I gotta, run through the banalities, the cliches, and all that, but he's definitely somebody where that one it's applicable. Like, he really doesn't have anything else to prove. I mean, Olympic gold medalist, undisputed at cruiserweight, undisputed at heavyweight.
4 belts. Yeah.
So it's like, what else is there to do for you? You made a lot of money. What else is there to do?
Yeah, bro. Like,
if he was much younger, then I'd be like, yeah, well, just keep on fighting. What, 37 years old?
37.
What else is there to do?
I think
Even 37 isn't old for heavyweights, but still, it's like, what else is there to do?
Yeah. Man.
Even Dubois for me is not too controversial. I'm just gonna I understand the whole borderline debacle, but after that moment, Dubois just got absolutely cleaned up. Like it was no contest.
Yeah, he put him behind him now too.
He got put in the blender and he got broken down, and it was no contra. I could understand if it went to decision or something like that, but
yeah, like a real close fight or something.
Yeah, but it wasn't even close.
It wasn't like that.
That's the one thing people always bring up when they're looking. You know, there's people out there just looking for controversies and negative things. So that's the one thing that people bring up. Haven't heard anything else, to be honest with you. But that's the one thing that they always bring up. That body shot. Was it low? Was it this? Was it that? And you gotta. I don't know. As a fighter, you can't let that stuff get too much into your head. In my opinion, I
don't think he did. Tell you the truth, you know. I think he done put it behind him and moved on from that. What happened? Somebody said the Tank and the Mark Roach fight was canceled or something. Did y'all hear anything about? I think Al Booker said. Al Booker put it in the chat that it was canceled. That was the first I heard of that.
Somebody got injured or something?
I don't know.
He posted on his Instagram page that the fight was canceled.
Wow.
Did he say what? Oh, here it is. The fight is effing canceled.
You didn't say why or anything? Injury? Oh.
Davis posted a brief message on Instagram. The excuse of an expert. Unhappy. Wow. Horrendous fight. What horrendous fight? Oh man. Stupid.
Wow.
Horrendous fight. They've been trashing it from the day that it was announced. Who cares? So, no, it doesn't say why here. He didn't say why either. I don't know. Most likely a little bit later something will come up.
Yeah.
What was it, March or something?
March 1st.
Plenty of time to find somebody.
Yeah.
Opetaya has somebody. Speaking of which, Opetaya got somebody, and he's fighting like next week or something like that, or 2 weeks or something like that.
Oh, really?
Who was it? I don't know. So like a complicated name. Dude pulled out of the fight, and he found somebody.
Who was that?
Opetaya.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's next week.
I think so. It's maybe. Okay. It's very like soon. Like that was an issue. They were talking about canceling the card, I think, or something like that. But they found somebody.
Okay.
That will fill in.
Okay, that's good.
I don't think Tyson Fury's legacy is as bad as people think. I mean, I
think so.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so. Why would it be?
I haven't seen anybody that big
himself this year. You know.
Exactly.
He just lost his first fight.
If Tyson Fury doesn't exist, people need to realize this. If Tyson Fury doesn't exist, or if he's not a boxer, Deontay Wilder is an all-time great fighter. People need to realize this. The only thing standing in the way of Deontay Wilder and all-time greatness has a name, and that's Tyson Fury, bro, and that means something.
Yeah, that
nobody could handle Deontay,
Usyk
bro.
Twice, so that ain't bad at all. You know, 2 losses to Usyk. That ain't nothing to hang your head about.
The trilogy with Deontay and the Vladimir ass whooping, to me, puts him over.
Yeah, he's Hall of Fame. First ballot Hall of Fame, I would say.
Dude is the size of an NBA center and has boxing skills for days. So,
yeah, he has some very nice skills.
People that big are usually this slow guys, you know, like Punch, like value or something like that.
Yeah, the Russian dude.
Yeah,
Nikolai.
Yeah,
he was big though. He was bigger than Fury. That guy was like
7 feet or something, wasn't he?
Like Yao Ming big or something, like really big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Roger Ed was like 7-1 or something like that. Yeah, I'm serious.
That guy couldn't make 3 steps. What am I saying? Like he didn't have those legs. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was a big guy.
I haven't seen somebody like Fury, bro. Like I haven't seen anything that big with that skill.
Those kind of skills, nah.
Lennox wasn't that big, was he? Lennox was like 6'5" or something. I think.
Yeah, I think about 6'5". Yeah, Lennox.
Oh man.
I can't find a Apataya fight on here. Let me see. Is that next year? Is that this year?
No, I don't think so. It's one of the first fights of next year, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Diego Petaya is an Australian. Yeah, I know who he is. Tell me who is fighting.
Oh, yeah, it is. January the 8th. January 8th. Yeah, the 8th.
But the guy he's fighting, and I'm sorry for saying this, I don't know who he is. Versus there it is, David Nika.
Is that the new guy that he just put on the card? Nyaika, something like that.
Yeah, Nyaika. I don't know, man. Nyik.
But he's a replacement or something.
Yes.
Okay.
He was supposed to fight last defense of his cruiser.
Okay. But that Bivol better be Ab card is that thing is fire.
Man, get out of here. That's so, man. I'm already thinking about that. Nah, man, that's
they put that together.
Turkey making me a fan, man.
Yeah, that's the 22nd of February. Dubois and Parker.
Let me go ahead and take care of something, and I'll be back with you guys, okay? Let me drop off for a second.
Berger and Madrimov. Yeah, that is a great call.
That could be a good fight right there, too.
Verger and Madrimov, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I wanted to see him and the other guy again. That's my fight of the year still. You know the one I'm talking about, Verger. They fought like August. Damn, what was his name?
Bohachuk.
Yeah, Bohachuk. That's still my fight of the year. That one was. I wanted to see that one again. Maybe we will. You think Madrimov would be something like that one? Al Berger has Triple D as fighter of the year. He says Usyk cannot be fighter of the year fighting the same guy twice. Why not, Al Berger? It's 2 different fights. I think he'll get it, though. I think he deserves it. But yeah, the rematch between Figueroa and Fulton is also on that card. Pitbull. Wow. Jason Rosario. Oh, yeah, that's David and David. Then the next day, the Groat against Danielle Perkins. For the heavyweight title, the Groat just won. Derek Chisora is back in action. Keyshawn Baranchek. Next year is shaping up good, or at least the early part of it is. Wow. Jack Catterall and Barboza. But no Tank and Roach. No Tank and Roach. Oh well. That was the JBT's meet and greet too. Everybody's left me. But Just Do Boxing is at 4:30 today. coming on a half hour later today. Just Do Boxing at 4:30. I was just looking at the schedule a little bit. We got some great early fights starting out the year. Tomorrow, we will be talking about the welterweight division in boxing. History of 147. That was one of the original 8 weight classes, remember? Welterweight started back in 1920, something like that. Yeah. One of the original 8. And we're going to talk about some of the all-time great former fighters and some of the current guys and some of the great fights at what we've seen at welterweight, like Duran Leonard won. Remember that one? Leonard went back to Montreal where he had won his gold medal, right? And fought the hands of Stone Roberto Duran. Duran pulled it off. Leonard came in and fought mad. You know, Duran talked about Leonard's wife and everything before the fight. And yeah, Duran knew how to get into your head, man. And he was living in Leonard's head rent-free. And Leonard came in and wanted to brawl with Duran and fought his fight. Duran pulled it out. That was one of the great welterweight fights of all time, I thought. And then Leonard Hearns won. That was a barn burner. Leonard needed a knockout and got it in round 14. Well, he really did it in 13. When remember, he knocked Hearns through the ropes in 13. And Hearns never recovered. And then when 14 began, Leonard came across the ring like he was shot out of a cannon and finished Hearns off. That was a great welterweight fight. We'll probably talk about that one tomorrow. And Floyd and Oscar, what was that at? Floyd and Oscar was at 154, right? Or a catchweight or something. I think. It wasn't at 147. No. Floyd and Oscar was not at 147. Earl and Bud was a big fight, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was a good fight because it was the 2 biggest name welterweights at that time. But once the fight began, the good part of it went out the window. It wasn't good at all. Good for Bud, you know. And then, yeah, welterweight tomorrow, though. And then Wednesday, we got this thing called Boxing Day. I think it's a UK thing. We're going to see what that's all about Wednesday, Christmas Day. I think it happens like the 26th of December. It's called Boxing Day, right? We're going to see what that's all about Wednesday. Then I got a couple of boxers that were born on Christmas. And we got a few fights that happened, a few big fights that happened on Christmas Day. We're going to talk about all that Wednesday. Yep. And then Nevada, Thursday, boxing in the States, Nevada. Home of Las Vegas, the boxing capital of the world right now, Las Vegas. And then Friday is the Hawk, Aaron Pryor, the profile. Alexander Usyk, congratulations, wins the rematch with Tyson Fury. Seawood won the raffle, and it was his birthday, man. Ain't that crazy? We could not have scripted it no better than that, man. Man won $725 4 days before Christmas and his birthday. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I think he told Jay Hardcore that, and then I was talking to Jay later that day, and he told it. Saturday, he said it was his man's birthday. I was like, what? That's crazy. And he won it. So I don't know about the meet and greet now. It was supposed to be at the Tank fight, but I don't know what's happening now. With that, everything's put on hold. Wow. But we'll see what happens. Look like everybody, we're going to get ready to get on because Just Do's coming up at 4:30. So you can go grab something to eat or something between 9 and 4:30. And just, I'll go on for a little bit longer. Make sure you stay with this JBT. You got like 20 minutes before Just Do Boxing. And we got Fury and Usyk. I had picked Fury this time. I just thought he was going to be able to box his way to the decision this time, but Usyk got it done again. So I kind of like agree with Define Arnie. Really it's nobody Usyk can really beat that will make his name any bigger than it is right now. So I don't see too much anything else other than just his love of competing will keep him around. Like Ant was saying, he don't need the money. There's really no name out there that will make his name any bigger than it is now. Only thing keep him around is his love of the sport, right? Love of competing. That might do it, It's made a lot of them retire and come back, Look at Sugar Ray Leonard. He came back 3 times. Then the last time he came back and got stopped for the first time by Hector Camacho. He was commentating on the Hector Camacho Roberto Duran fight and thought he saw something. He came back and Hector stopped him. Only stoppage of his career. Yep. And then he retired for good after that. Ali. I think Ali was doing it for financial reasons. Because Ali was actually suffering from that Parkinson's in the Holmes and the Berbick fight, a little bit in the second Spinks fight. Speech was already a little slurred and stuff, a little memory loss. And, he was still in there fighting. And, finally called it quits after the Berbick fight. When I think he should have called it quits after the second Spinks fight. Yeah. Few of them stay around too long, But Foreman came back and was successful. Came back and still the oldest heavyweight at 45 years old. B-Hop was successful. 49, the oldest champion overall in boxing, 49 years old. So some of them stay around and at an advanced age for boxing and are successful with it, So the only thing I see keep Usyk around is his love of competing, the love of the sport, because he don't need the money. Really nothing else he can do that will make his name any bigger, He beat AJ twice, he beat Tyson Fury twice, First man to be 4-belt undisputed at cruiserweight and heavyweight. And only 5 people have done that in 2 weight classes, right? The GOAT, Bud, Katie Taylor, the Monster, and Usyk. In that order. So that's big. Only 5 people have been 4-belt undisputed in 2 different weight classes. Right? So Usyk got that on his record. Although they did strip him, 5 minutes after he became 4-belt undisputed at heavyweight, remember? Well, I don't know, it wasn't 5 minutes, but he didn't have it long. But they can't take the fact from him that he was 4-belt undisputed at heavyweight, right? They stripped him, but he accomplished it. It's forever in the history books. He's no doubt a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about that. If Alexander Usyk ain't a first ballot Hall of Famer, shouldn't he be no Hall of Fame? No doubt he's a first ballot. I would say Fury is a first ballot also, I mean, the man just suffered love him or hate him, he just suffered his first loss this year, right? So, what was he, I don't know what Fury was, 37-0 something, 30 something, So, first ballot Hall of Famer, him and Usyk, I would say the 2 biggest names right now. But get out Usyk because there's some young killers coming up, man. There's some big young names coming through. So and like Define Arnie said, why risk getting beaten? Then they'll say, well, Usyk did this for 2 first 4-belt undisputed heavyweight, but his last fight he was knocked out. You don't want that but on the end of it. So get out Usyk. I agree, Define Arnie one. Get out Usyk. Because you don't want him to be saying that, but his last fight, Because so many of them, they say that about it. about. Like I said, Sugar Ray, brilliant career, but he was stopped for the first time in his last fight, which he shouldn't have even have been in. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would agree. Nothing else Usyk can accomplish. Only thing we'll keep around, like I said, is his love of the sport, love of competing. You know, still performing at a high level at 37 years old. You know, still performing at a very high level. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just look at his performance a couple of days ago, day before yesterday, Saturday. You know, so yeah. But next year is beginning with a bang. We got David versus David, Benavidez, Morrell. I'm picking David in that one. That should be a good fight. I'm leaning Benavidez right now, but man, that's And looking at the press conferences, man, those guys. Looking at the press conferences they've been having, man. Wow. Okay, here we go. Let me find my cursor. I always lose the daggone cursor. There we go. There we go. Yeah, they fight on it. I was kind of like thinking about it, and I kind of agree with you about Usyk, man. Get on out, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Well, you still can.
But at the end, you know, you don't want that butt on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the story. You know, the story with you is gonna read. You know, he did all these great things, and like you said, but
right,
look at like you know, I mean, it's not
don't need that
either.
Because there's no name in boxing that will make him even bigger. Anybody he can beat now than he already is. You know?
That's man. You said it. You said it. Spot on. And you know what people are gonna say? Oh, he shouldn't have gone. He should.
That's right. That's what exactly what they're gonna say. He should have retired. Just like we say it, he should. That's what they say. He should have retired. Already a first ballot Hall of Famer, you know?
For sure.
So yeah.
For sure. Both of them, really.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them. Yeah. Perfect example. Like I was making an example of Sugar Ray Leonard. He came back and got stopped for the first time against Camacho. You know?
Oh, that's a
kind of remembered for that. You know, he had no business still fighting. You know? He shouldn't have came back.
Even Ali, you know. Obviously Ali is different because obviously they screwed him and everything. But you know, and people don't really hold that against them, and I think that's awesome because they shouldn't hold that against either one of them. But at the same time, if you're talking about them, you have to mention that, bro.
It's on that record. It's on box rec. You know. Yeah.
And again, I'm not the guy to be putting too much stock on undefeated records, honestly.
Right. No, me neither. No.
If you have the chance of living this game without a blemish, why would you say no to that?
Yeah, that's big, man. You know?
This is really what everybody wants. To think about this. This is what every fighter dreams of this. Like getting to the top and retiring on top.
He'll be the second one behind Marciano, heavyweight, to retire undefeated. You know?
That's right. Exactly.
Marciano is the only one so far. How many fights does Usyk have? Like 30 something?
Give me a sec.
Oh.
I don't think he has that many in regards of like. I don't.
Oh yeah, because they stay in the amateurs a long time too over there.
Yeah, man. They have a thing going on over there, which I think has to do more with outside the ring thing than anything else. You know.
Yeah.
That made them stay for too long, kind of like a Cuba thing. 23-0, bro. 23-0. That's his record.
But he'll be big in his country, man. If he get out now and with all his accomplishments.
Bro, are you kidding me? Do you imagine how many opportunities this dude's gonna have over in Ukraine? I think it is.
Yeah, Ukraine.
Bro, I mean, president of something, a boxing federation, or trust me.
Because Loma is a hero with what is it like with the 3 losses? What did he had like 3? Loma, 2 or 3?
Salido, Haney, and Tio. Yeah, 3.
And he's still a hero over there. So just think if Usyk go out like he is,
Oh, they're real people over there, bro. They're real fans. They are ride and die people, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me. They don't go. Oh, but you lost here. No, bro. Nah. They don't play that game over there. Thankfully.
37.
It's like a Baturbia type of record, 23-0. You know.
Yeah. So he was older. He's a year older than Fury. I was thinking, Usyk is the older.
Isn't that amazing? You look at both of you and you think Fury's 10 years older.
I sure did. Yeah. Wow. I'm learning. I did not know that. I'm learning too, man. Yeah, Usyk is the older between the two. I did not know that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but those dudes, they don't show their continuously. I'm noticing those dudes, they don't show their age, and it has to do with their discipline, their lifestyle, what they eat, and so forth. You look at everybody, bro. Beterbiev, even Loma. Loma should be showing his age a little bit more than he is, but he doesn't.
Yeah, they're very disciplined over there. Yeah, they stick to a strict training regimen, man.
Yeah, they don't mess around. You see their success in the UFC and everything, and they're surely having, because they already have the role models, right? If you're from Ukraine, you got Vitaly, you got Usyk, you got Loma, and if you're from Russia, you got Bivol, you got Beterbiev, you got I'm forgetting a bunch, I'm sure.
And they walk around at that optimal weight, where when you go to camp, you don't spend time trying to lose weight. You lose the weight just through the natural process of training, getting ready for the fight.
Yeah, you don't see them like fat and exactly.
You ain't got to lose 30 and 40 pounds and stuff,
Damn. Bro,
just
that's
by the natural process of your training, you get on weight. Yeah, that's how they used to do it back in the old days. Not too many fighters do that nowadays,
Nope. And I'm telling you, I'm paying a lot of attention to those folks because, in my opinion, and I'm sure I'm exaggerating here, but in my opinion, they are taking over the sport in front of our faces. Yeah. If you look at it, they got the undisputed in heavyweight. They're gonna have they have already the undisputed at cruiserweight. It's Beterbiev, and is it cruiserweight or is it cruiserweight?
Light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight.
What's Apatow from?
New Zealand, either New Zealand or he's from those Polynesian countries. He's not from Australia, but he's either from Samoa or from New Zealand.
He fights out of Australia though, right?
Man, I don't remember. I always confuse him with Tim Siu or Liamparo.
Yeah. That's right. Because
Parker. I think him and Parker are homies.
Yeah, Parker is Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, Parker is definitely Australia. Yeah.
I don't Petaya kid, bro. I want to see if I Zurdo.
Fight who?
Zurdo. Zurdo. What is it? Ramirez, I think it is, or Rodriguez.
Okay. Oh, you want Zurdo? Oh man.
Yeah. He just beat up.
That would be Apatow, right? I would pick Apatow in that one.
Me too, but that's a hell of a fight, bro.
Yeah.
Zurdo only lost to Bivol. That's it.
Zurdo should be up there too, in position for a shot at that cruiserweight title too.
He had a hell of a performance against Chris Smith. So
that was his last fight, right?
Yeah, that was like a month ago or something. New Zealand, Bruce Gus in New Zealand.
He should be nearing a mandatory or something. Zurdo should, I think.
I think he has a belt.
Oh, New Zealand. Bruce Gas says New Zealand.
My guy, Bruce Gas, God bless.
That's what it is, New Zealand, right? Yeah, New Zealand. But Zurdo should be getting close to some kind of mandatory or something, though,
It's good to see fighters from Mexico in the higher classes. You got Andy Ruiz, and now you have Zurdo. Because it's always been like welterweight down,
Lower, or middleweight down. You're right. Welterweight down. That's what it's always been. Yeah, you got Andy and Virgil is at where's he at? 154.
Virgil 154, and obviously Benavidez you have now, obviously.
Canelo at 168.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Canelo. I mean, there's a lot of people in Mexico that don't.
Zurdo is Mexican, ain't he? Ain't Zurdo Mexican?
Zurdo, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one set. No, cruiserweight 200.
Man.
So yeah, it's starting to creep up a little now. Because back in the old days, it was like you say 147 and down. It wasn't many at one. It wasn't many over like 135.
You look at the
147 was
legends, they're all,
great.
Chavez, Salvador Sanchez,
Yeah.
Morales, Barrera, Marquez, all of them are, welterweight down.
Oscar. They ended up going up because of the money fights was up that, once you got up
No
to
doubt.
1 foot, up in that area. Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar really got himself into fights he really had no business being, like Pacquiao or B-Hop, But
yeah, at that point, yeah. I thought Oscar was best like 135 down, and he was a killer at 135.
Man, he absolutely.
Did he ever lose at 135?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe. Was that the weight that he fought Pernell at?
Oh man, I don't think so. I think him and Whitaker. It might have been. It might have been.
Because Pernell got robbed in that fight, but
it might have been up around 147 though. You know that? By then. I think. Yeah. I'm not sure.
He wasn't that young when he saw Pernell, I think.
Yeah.
And all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a killer. Oscar was a killer at 135, man.
Oh, come on, bro. Literally.
That was crazy. Yeah. The way he went through there.
Oscar versus Roberto Duran. What do you think? At that weight? Bro.
135?
Yeah.
Man, I don't had nobody beat Roberto at 135.
Me neither, bro. Honestly,
nobody.
Me neither.
Nobody. He was just. Now, one person did do it, Esteban de Jesus, but then he came back and beat him twice,
Oh, my guy. Rest in peace, bro. Yeah, Esteban de Jesus. That's right.
He did beat Roberto there. That was it. But Roberto came back and won the trilogy. But he was like, 71-1 in the 70s, man. That's crazy, ain't it? God damn. 71-1.
Amazing.
Yeah, Roberto was just...
He was there. He got an interview about the Fury Usyk fight.
Oh, yeah? I didn't see it.
It was so awesome to see that guy there, bro. I was like, wow.
Because he had been sickly lately, like the last... earlier this year.
Report came out of him. I was like, damn, bro. Seriously.
Yeah. But he was at the fight. That was good. Yeah. To see him out,
bro.
And about. Yeah.
Just for that, Turkey's my guy.
Yeah. Turkey always flying some of those old greats in there.
There was a lot of folks there. Lennox Lewis was there, Teddy Atlas. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, it's time for Just Do Anyway. We gotta get ready to get out. Okay, be fine, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Take care now. All right, that was Define RNA1. Ant McQueen was here. It's time for Just Do Boxing now. But I appreciate everybody that was in the building. Ant McQueen, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Define RNA1. Tim Layton. Mike Mazik, Crush the Legend, Al Booger, Thomas Hill, Miss Cass. That's it for today. Appreciate everybody though. And don't forget, we got BBO Just Do Boxing coming up at 4:30 today. Not this regular time, 4:30 today. And we got BVO Boxing TV in the gang at 8. He's got D Free, Prize Fighter, T Hill, and you see Crush the Legend again over there with him. And then we got the Rise podcast at 9 p.m. Then we started all out again tomorrow morning with Crush the Legend at 6 a.m., J Hardcore at 8, and on up to me and on through again. So JBT all day. Got that from Al Booger. JBT all day. But join me tomorrow, because if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Just Do Boxing is straight ahead. This is Cass Sports. Everybody have a great day. Don't spend all your money out there Christmas shopping now. But you ain't got to spend too much on me. I need a laptop. Everybody have a great day. I will see y'all around those JBT streets. Bruce Gas at the boxing trivia tonight on Bruce Gas Boxing, Jazz, and more. Boxing trivia tonight. I think it's about 8 p.m. Okay? Don't miss that. See you over there.